Hi, welcome to Appalachian Living on the Farm. I'm Tracy Fletcher McLaughlin, and what a beautiful day we have on this November day. Can you believe it? Just after Thanksgiving, and the skies are blue, the sun is shining, a little breeze in the air. It's a beautiful, beautiful day here in the Appalachian Mountains. Well, today we want to take you on a little tour of the tomato operation we have going on. We grow organic heirloom tomatoes in the greenhouses behind us, so we're going to take a quick tour through there just to tell you a little bit what we've got left going this season. Also, I hope you remember to set your scales back 10 pounds because we're going to Tracy's Kitchen. Got a couple of recipes for you today. We have a dinner and a few little snacks that you'll enjoy making. And also, it is time to get ready for Christmas, so we're going to be doing some Christmas decorating. Took a trip over to White Top just before you get to White Top Mountain, Virginia, to pick up some greenery to decorate with. We've got wreaths, we have rope, garland, and we've got a truckload full of that. So let's go unload that truck and see what we've got going. Welcome to Highlands Farms Greenhouse. Here you'll find our wonderful, delicious organic heirloom tomatoes. Have you ever seen tomato plants this tall? I've never seen this in my life until we started doing this. But anyway, we grow under hoop houses is what we call them. It's kind of a poor man's greenhouse, I guess. But we grow under hoop houses during the winter months. And what that means is we are still in the ground, we are organic, and we have some beautiful, beautiful tomatoes. If you can see what we have going on here, can you see these? How wonderful and huge they are coming on. We heat our houses. We keep them at like 55 degrees, 45 to 55, depending on what's going on outside. But on beautiful days like today, when the sun is out and it's so nice, it can be up to 100 degrees in here. So our sides on the greenhouse can be rolled up to kind of monitor, and it really is a constant monitoring of the temperatures inside, because you have to have the exact temperature for your tomatoes to make sure that they get the sweetness and the sun, the warmth, the heat, out the cold to take away from them. So this is kind of what we do year round, basically. We start, and you're going to be going through all of this with us this year. Unfortunately, we're at the end of the season. We will carry this on through the end of November up into December for a little while. But next year, we start planting our seeds in January. We start all of our seeds inside at our pack house in our seed room. We have grow lights. We start the seeds. They grow. We put them in the grow room. And then we transplant into the ground, which will be mid-February when we transplant into the ground. You're going to see exactly what they look like when we put them in the ground. And then we just go all year round. So we start early. We will harvest, having going in the ground in February. We will start harvesting mid-May, which means we're going to have delicious organic heirloom tomatoes in mid-May this year. And we're really excited about that. We grow approximately, we had about 16 different varieties of heirloom, organic heirlooms in our houses this year. Adding another house this coming year. And we are going to probably still keep it around 16 different varieties for these houses. But they are all delicious. They're all very unique. And we cannot wait to tell you all about that as the tomatoes grow and as you see them growing and ripening and taking form and taking shape. Can't wait to share that with you. But just wanted to give you a sneak preview of what we do have and let you know that we have some great things coming up soon. Now, I say, let's go on up and start some decorating for Christmas. I told you we had a lot of greenery, didn't I? A whole truckload? Well, pretty much. Anyway, we just got back, as I said, from McDaniel's Christmas Tree Farm in White Top, Virginia. And let me tell you, they are amazing there. We placed our order. The next day we went to pick it up, and Teresa and her crew put together a couple of different sizes of wreaths. They put together the roping for our stairs. Also, the beautiful greenery for the mantles in the house. And you'll see all of that as we decorate together and put some things together during this series. But also, just the talent that they have, knowing that everything is fresh, put together right there. And as we walked in, it's all scattered on the floor, which I love. I love messy. So that just means it's kind of an artist at work, I guess. Anyway, so let's get this truck unloaded and get to work. Okay, we're going to do something a little special for our front door, something a little different than what we're going to do for the rest of the doors. I had Teresa make 3 8-inch wreaths for the door because I measured the size of my door. She told me what I would need, the size that I would need if I was going to layer 3 of them. She actually put a little bit of white pine in with the fir to make it a little special. So what we're going to do for this front door is we're going to turn the wreaths over. What you will need to do this, you will need some fishing line, and I get like a 50-pound test line because I want to make sure that it holds it. And we're up in the mountains, so it's a little windy here. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways that you can tie these wreaths on that they won't blow around and mess up your door or mess up your windows. Okay, our wreaths are up. So I like this really plain. And when I say plain, it's got some white pine in it as well as the fir. I think that's enough for me, and I'm going to tell you why. Once we have this up here, as you can see, it's kind of straightened out a little bit. Isn't that different than just putting a wreath up? And we'll put wreaths on the other doors and on our windows. But this one is a special entrance because it's your front door. So you want it just a little different. Now, a couple of things you can do. It's nice if you want to put berries in your wreath. You can put pine cones. You can put ornaments in here. You can do whatever you want. One of the things that I do, and really the only thing that I do, is I put a bow on mine. So, we have tied the bow. Oh, how do you tie a bow, you ask? Well, I just happen to be able to tell you how to tie a bow. Please follow us on Facebook, because between now and Christmas, we are going to have so many little tips that we want to share with you that you'll want to see these. One of the tips we're going to share is how to tie a bow. And we've got a couple of different bows that we'll be tying. This one happens to be a wired silk fabric that I've used in the past. This one has been left over from before, but we will be tying new bows as well. And we just hook it with wire. Again, I will show you this in the video. And we're going to tie it on our wreath. This is very simple, but there's a reason that I keep mine simple. Nice bow. We like to give it long tails to drape down. You can work those through your greenery. That's the nice thing of having wired ribbon. So we are going to be hanging wreaths on our windows. Okay, we're putting our wreaths on the windows now. We need a stapler. Once again, we'll use our 50-pound test line for our wreaths. All I'm going to do is find the center of the window, and I'm going to staple on the top just so it won't show anywhere. I put the fishing line through just like we did on the other wreaths. So we're going to take one string of this, because this staple doesn't go all the way in until I pound it because the wood's pretty hard. I'm just going to put this through. I like to put the top of it just, let me raise it up so you can see. Just kind of in the center of that, so that as we're under the porch, I don't get a lot of light through my front porch, and the wreaths do tend to keep light out. So I got a little bit smaller just to let more light in the house. Just hold it, tie the knot exactly where I want it. You won't be able to see the fishing line kind of disappears. So We will also be making these bows in our video, and they are wired. So we just take them and we wire them around our wreath. Once again, very simple. That's all you need. That's all you need for your house. So we're going to get all of the wreaths on the downstairs. Then we're going to move up to the upstairs. Why is it we always end up in the kitchen? I don't understand, but it seems to happen in every house. Well, today we've just finished up our Thanksgiving dinner, which I don't know about you guys, but I am truly, truly stuffed and don't really want to think about sitting down to a full meal again. I've eaten leftovers, but you know what, I have to admit, I love turkey on my rolls for a leftover. But thinking about our favorite Thanksgiving meal, or Thanksgiving food, I should say, what was your favorite entree? What was your favorite side dish? What was the favorite thing that you ate on Thanksgiving? I love turkey, I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know, this year, I love the corn pudding. I don't know what it was, maybe I was just in the mood for it, I guess, but loved the corn pudding and loved the mashed potatoes. What is it with that? Maybe it was the gravy, I don't know, but loved the mashed potatoes this year too, and I'm sure if we had to write down a name of who finished it off, it would probably be me. I guess I got the last of them. But anyway, I'd love to hear from you. What was your favorite food during Thanksgiving that you ate? Why don't you send us a message or comment and let us know what your favorite food was. So anyway, having the big meal put aside now, I'm kind of in the mood for snacks, especially working around the house, decorating and working and having this nice 3-day weekend to put together things. I don't necessarily want to spend my time in the kitchen cooking a meal. So how about some snacks? If we're still eating leftovers, that's great. We don't have to eat the whole meal. We can eat bits and pieces of it. But I've got a couple of snacks that I want to share with you today. The first one I want to share with you is just a simple, basic sausage ball recipe. Everybody makes sausage balls. Most people love them. They're very, very easy. So just to have something to put on the side, let's go with some sausage balls. But a couple of things I want to say about these sausage balls. Number one, you can freeze them, which I think is the greatest thing. Have you ever been caught off guard when people come to visit and you just want something to snack on other than nuts or maybe cheese and crackers? Pull the sausage balls out of the freezer. Heat those up in the microwave. They're just as good as the second go around or however long it takes. Also, taking that simple sausage ball recipe, we can jazz that up just a little bit. You know, thinking of Christmas and we think of red and green, we can put green peppers, just diced very small green peppers. And if you do want to add that, I would add about a half a cup of very finely sliced or diced green peppers to the sausage balls. Just gives them a little bit of flavor. Also, you can add pimentos, the same thing, diced up very small, and about a half a cup of those as well. If you want to give them a little heat, maybe some jalapenos, some type of hot peppers, I would probably only use about a quarter of a cup of those if I put those in there. Another thing that I love to do, because I love sweet and savory at the same time, I like to use the sage flavored sausage when I make my sausage balls. Chop up dates. You can buy the chopped dates that are really sweet. You know, they do have a lot of sugar, I'll say, but chop those up even smaller and put those in there. That's really good to taste that sage and the dates all together. That's really kind of a nice taste. So just to jazz those up, just a little something different than just plain old sausage balls. Last week, also as a snack, we gave you a wonderful recipe, simple recipe for goat cheese. Just a goat cheese log with the caramel and pecans and sea salt. So simple and so delicious. We have another cheese ball recipe that we want to share with you this week. This time it's not so sweet, it's a little more savory. So very simple, once again, doesn't take any time to make it. So here is our savory, wonderful, delicious cheese. For a snack. Isn't that wonderful? Just these simple things that we can keep in the refrigerator during the holiday season. Another thing I'm going to do, and I really want to share this recipe with you, it's a meatloaf recipe, and a lot of us grew up on meatloaf, and unfortunately I really did not, but learned to like it later on in life. I don't know why we didn't have it, but we didn't. But anyway, I have a wonderful, delicious meatloaf recipe I want to share with you. And I'm going to tell you why I chose meatloaf. First of all, I have a little bit of an advantage. I might be just a tad bit spoiled because of our organic heirloom tomatoes. And I will have to say, I think the tomatoes truly make a difference on the top of this meatloaf. And you'll see this when I'm doing the recipe. But I think it makes it juicier and it doesn't add so much thickness as you would from a ketchup using these tomatoes. But you'll see all of this in the video. But the reason I chose meatloaf is because it's great for leftovers. Once again, I said we're at a busy time. We're all working, we're all decorating, we're all shopping. Oh my gosh, what else? You know, we've got tons of things going on during the holiday season. The kids are in every event you can think of. So meatloaf is a great meal to fix and then use it for leftovers, either the next night, meatloaf sandwiches for the kids' lunchbox, or for you the next day. It goes a long way. So, and to keep it even a little more simple, we added some asparagus and some fingerling potatoes with that. So really a good meal because it's not turkey and it's just something a little bit different. So watch this. I think you're going to enjoy making this one. are making meatloaf. And I'm a little partial to our meatloaf because we use our wonderful, delicious organic heirloom tomatoes that we grow here on the farm. So I think that's the secret ingredient to our meatloaf. So tonight we're fixing meatloaf. We have all of our ingredients laid out, and you will see the ingredients list. We will put the recipe on here for you, so you're going to get all of that. But we have all of our ingredients. We also have our asparagus and our fingerling potatoes, which also came from the farm. So we're so excited. So what we're doing first, we are sauteing our onions and our peppers in the olive oil with our thyme, salt, and pepper. We are also cooking our tomatoes. This is going to be the big deal that goes on the top. This is the sauce that makes this meatloaf extra special. So we want to saute your onions and your peppers until they just kind of get translucent, which will probably take 8 to 10 minutes, something like that. And we're going to continue to cook the sauce until everything melts down. The tomatoes will start to break up. You still want a few little chunks in your tomatoes. It's going to be a sauce, but it's going to have that wonderful tomato juice coming off of it, so it's really going to be pretty good. But just cook those down. That will probably take 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, it looks like our onions and peppers are perfectly done. Our oven is preheated at 325, and the tomatoes are stewing and just smell lovely. Okay, it looks like our peppers and onions are ready to go. They're nice and translucent and looks like they're ready to cool down just a bit before we mix them in with their sirloin. Also, the tomatoes have been stewing. They have also cooked down, and we've left some chunks in there, and I think that's what we love to do when we put the meatloaf in the pan. We put the tomatoes on the top. Some nice chunks of tomato really add a little, a little something extra instead of that smooth ketchup-y or tomato paste that you would put on top. These actually just give it a nice tomato flavor. We have added our green pepper and onion mixture to the meat. We also have slightly beaten our eggs. We're going to put those in there. Next, we're going to add our Worcestershire sauce. We're going to add our chicken broth. And last but not least, our breadcrumbs. Now we want to stir this up with a fork. We don't want it to be so mixed together. We would like it to kind of be loosely blended or loosely mixed. And then we're going to put it into our pan and pop it in the oven. Okay, it is time for that beautiful, beautiful sauce to go on the top. We've got our meatloaf in the pan. One thing I like to do when I put the meatloaf in the pan is kind of press around the sides when you're using fresh tomatoes on the top. Just kind of allows that little pool, I guess, to be around the sides to give some moisture to the meatloaf. So we're going to pour on our sauce. How beautiful is that? As it is standing around the sides. Oh my goodness. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, it's time to put this in the oven. We're going to let it cook for about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. So we'll let it get started, and in the meantime, we're going to work on our asparagus and on our potatoes. Okay, so we are halfway through our baking our meatloaf. And we have prepared our fingerling potatoes. The only thing we did, we just poured a little bit of olive oil on our potatoes, salt and pepper. That's it. We're going to pop them in the oven. We're going to bake them at about 350 for probably 25 to 30 minutes. So it's a good time to put them in, so when they come out, they'll be nice and hot. Okay, so our water is boiling. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off our steamer and put the asparagus in. We've trimmed off the bottoms. Put the lid on. Let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, and the asparagus comes out perfect. When I say juicy meatloaf, oh my gosh. See all the juice? how the tomatoes just kind of pack down on the top. And I'm going to give you a close-up of this too so you can see it. But the tomatoes just pack down the juices and they sear the outside of the meat. That's why we kind of press it down around the edges too. But oh my goodness, cannot wait to dig into this. And you thought I was teasing you. Seriously, we would normally do maybe a hollandaise or some kind of sauce on the asparagus, but listen, because the meat is so juicy here, the potatoes are so tender, you don't want anything else. All of these flavors are mild, but they stand on their own. So I cannot wait to dig in. So that's really all I've got to say about all of this, because I'm hungry and this is exactly what I'm eating tonight and probably tomorrow night. But does that not look scrumptious? So are you tired yet? I hope not, because we're just getting started. All the decorating and cooking, woo, we're having so much fun. You have got to keep with us. Please follow us on Facebook, because we've got so much going on this season with cooking, whether it's appetizers or treats for the kids, sweet, savory meals, doesn't matter. We've got a lot of cooking going on in this kitchen. Also decorating, my goodness, we've just started. And speaking of decorating, we are going back to the McDaniel Christmas tree farm. So you've got to stay tuned and watch that, because we're going to pick out our Christmas trees. Do you get that? We're going to go out on the Christmas tree farm and pick out our very own tree. I'm so excited about that, and bring that to our house. I love the smell of those real trees in the house. Anyway, like I said, follow us, because we're going to be posting some things about every day or every other day that'll help you through this holiday season and make it a lot more fun. So until we get to see you next time, get to work and we'll see you soon.